Josiah and Lauren Duggar step into the spotlight once again as an unexpected wave of attention gathers around a report suggesting they are 5 months into a new pregnancy, accompanied by claims that the couple is preparing to welcome a baby boy. Although the information surrounding this development remains unverified, the conversation it has sparked offers a window into the emotional complexities, public reactions, and family dynamics that consistently surround this well-known family. As we look closely at the unfolding dialogue, it becomes clear that the interest is not simply about the possibility of another child, but about what this moment represents for a couple who has often navigated both scrutiny and support from a broad audience across the years. The mention of a 5-month pregnancy immediately draws curiosity because such a timeline suggests that the couple has been processing this life change privately long before any discussion made its way into public spaces. For many who have followed their journey, privacy is a key theme that Lauren especially has embraced, particularly after previous emotionally difficult experiences, including pregnancies that carried immense personal weight. When a family with such high visibility chooses to keep news quiet for an extended period, viewers often interpret this as an attempt to create a bubble of calm away from the pressures of publicity. This possible scenario reflects a universal human desire to hold onto personal joy until the moment feels right to share it, and that sentiment resonates strongly with audiences who see the couple not merely as television personalities, but as individuals learning how to navigate their own emotional landscapes. As conversations grow, supporters express that whether or not the report is accurate, the idea of a family expanding invites reflection on the larger themes of hope, healing, and resilience. For a couple who has previously spoken about loss and renewal, such a moment naturally becomes tied to broader questions about how families rebuild their emotional footing after hardship. Expert commentary from family counselors often emphasizes that the early months of pregnancy can be psychologically delicate, especially for parents who have experienced uncertainty in the past. The desire to protect those early emotional stages is a deeply human response, and even speculation around the pregnancy encourages viewers to think about how carefully new beginnings are handled within families that value privacy, stability, and emotional grounding. Public reactions to the idea of a confirmed baby boy also add an interesting layer to the unfolding discussion. Fans familiar with the Duggar family tradition frequently note that baby announcements often become communal celebrations that extend beyond the immediate household. People naturally start imagining how siblings might respond, how extended relatives might express their joy, and how the couple themselves might prepare for a new chapter. Even within speculative conversations, the emotional tone leans more toward curiosity than excitement, simply because audiences understand that unverified news must be held gently without overwhelming expectations. Instead of rushing toward conclusions, many express thoughtful reflections about how families evolve and how each new addition carries its own emotional significance. Another element that shapes the atmosphere around this development is the larger cultural conversation about how public families choose when and how to share deeply personal life updates. Analysts often point out that in an era where social media collapses the boundary between public and private life, individuals must develop strategies to maintain emotional balance. Whether this report turns out to be true or not, it reflects a growing recognition that not every moment needs to be immediately broadcast, even for those accustomed to living under public observation. The idea that a couple might preserve the intimacy of a pregnancy for several months aligns with changing attitudes about digital privacy and emotional well-being, reminding audiences that personal milestones deserve space and care. The emotional reflections from viewers also highlight an important lesson about empathy. Many people respond by noting that conversations around pregnancy, especially when unverified, must be approached with sensitivity. The speculation may seem harmless, but as mental health experts remind us, discussions about family planning, fertility, or pregnancy loss can evoke strong emotions for many individuals. The responsible approach is to engage with such topics gently, focusing on support and understanding rather than pressure or certainty. Even within the context of a news-style narration, the emotional core remains grounded in respect for the people involved and for the audience members who bring their own experiences to the interpretation of such developments. In examining the deeper analytical layers, observers point to the symbolic nature of a new child within a family whose history is filled with public transitions. The possibility of welcoming a baby boy can be interpreted as a narrative of renewal, suggesting that families continuously reshape their identities as they grow. Sociologists often emphasize that parenthood marks significant stages of emotional development, where individuals revisit their beliefs, values, and aspirations in order to prepare for the responsibilities ahead. For Josiah and Lauren, who have navigated both fame and scrutiny, the idea of entering another parenting chapter carries an emotional weight that viewers feel even without confirmed details. This reflects how public narratives often mirror the internal emotional journeys that all families experience, reminding us that growth is both personal and shared. Meanwhile, the evolving public conversation encourages viewers to reflect on how society interprets the lives of well-known families. When reports emerge, even without confirmation, audiences instinctively analyze possible motivations, timing, and implications. But thoughtful reflection reveals that speculation can sometimes overshadow the human aspect. The more grounded approach is to acknowledge that families manage change in diverse ways, and the healthiest perspective respects the boundaries they set. This shift toward empathy and mindful interpretation marks an important evolution in how public stories are consumed, especially in digital communities where information spreads quickly and expectations form rapidly. As the discussion continues, many people highlight that moments like this remind us of the emotional universality of family life. Whether the report is accurate or not, the themes of anticipation, preparation, and reflection remain deeply relatable. Parents everywhere understand the mixture of excitement and caution that accompanies pregnancy, and they understand the instinct to balance joy with privacy. The narrative surrounding this couple, therefore, becomes a conversation not just about them, but about the experiences that connect people across different backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life. Toward the closing reflection of this extended news-style narrative, it becomes important to re-emphasize that the information at the center of the discussion remains unverified. Following the principles of accuracy and honesty, we must acknowledge that without confirmed statements from the individuals involved or from reliable sources, the situation cannot be treated as established fact. What we can explore, however, is the emotional landscape that such a report inspires, the insights it invites about family growth, and the lessons it offers about compassion, privacy, and the responsibilities that come with discussing personal matters in public spaces. The thoughtful viewer walks away not with assumptions, but with a deeper understanding of how delicate family moments can be and how important it is to approach them with care. In the end, whether or not Josiah and Lauren Duggar truly are expecting a baby boy at the 5-month mark remains uncertain. What remains clear is that the conversation sparked by this idea encourages meaningful reflection about hope, emotional healing, evolving family dynamics, and respectful storytelling. It reminds audiences that even in the absence of confirmation, there is value in exploring the broader emotional and human context that surrounds such reports, always grounded in honesty and empathy as we consider the lives of those who navigate both private milestones and public curiosity. Thanks for watching.